The symbol!
You know the phrase, strike while the iron is hot?
Yeah, strike while the iron's hot. Now's the time.
To put it in content creation terms, put out the video while hype is still high. I was super proud of the first Endgame 16-bit scene, but I could not have predicted how well it was going to be received. I originally wasn't sure if I was going to continue remaking Endgame, but the endless amount of requests made me start planning it. And I immediately gave up. Because look at this thing. It's the most sensory overloaded Peter Jackson-esque thing you ever feasted your eyes on. It's ridiculous. It was just too much, and I let James know, and he was super cool about it, and I moved on to other projects. I saw this episode of Corridor Crew where they talked to a guy from Wedded Digital, and he talks about how scary that original scene was for him, too.
There's a little shot called the Wanna. It was the most scary part of the cut for a long time for me, but now I can enjoy it.
And that made me want to open up my old Part 2 project file and give it another look. And when I did, I had this moment. I knew how to do it. The most important part of the scene is the Infinity Gauntlet. It's what the entire fate of the universe rests on. This scene is about a team trying to get an object across a field while another team tries to intercept. It's football. To be honest, I really don't know that much about American football, but I think I know enough to make a comparison, except when a team scores a touchdown, the goalposts explode. Now that I knew what I could focus on, I knew what I could cut. 16-bit scenes are always somewhat abridged. I only animated a complete unabridged scene once. You can probably see the problem with that. Also, imagine this pulse-pounding, exciting action sequence coming to a screeching halt while the Avengers talk about what to do. It works in live action, but it would not work presented in this way. The problem created by this being an Avengers movie is that every character is somebody's favorite character. So I still tried to include every single character moment that I could, but if it couldn't fit as the main focus, I just put it into the background. Even though the scene was stripped down, it's still the biggest 16-bit scene ever. Sure, I had the benefit of the background level looking mostly the same, and I had a number of animations that I could reuse from the first scene, but I still had to make some new animations. Since Spider-Man did more in this scene, he got completely redesigned yet again. There was a whole host of characters that didn't appear in the first scene that had to be designed for this, and Thanos' moveset expanded even more. Overall, it's crazy to look at this project, something that I once thought was impossible, and now it's done. It's finally complete. It's like a crowning achievement on top of another crowning achievement, and I could not be prouder. I'm extremely grateful to Kenny for doing music for this yet again, and to James for pretty much being executive producer of this series. But also, thanks to you, the audience. Without all the requests, this probably would not have happened. Thanks for watching.